Okay guys, so this is still lesson 2 for statistics. It was just the part 2. I told you I was going to show you how to use your calculator to do a lot of this work. So it's really hinging on this table. We don't need to put it in lists. We need to put in a table, and some of you might not have much experience with doing that on your calculator. Now, unfortunately, the Casio and Inspire people, I don't know at all how your calculator works. You need to do some Googling. You could just Google a chi-square test for independence and then put in your calculator model number. You could also, yeah, honestly, that'd probably be the most efficient way to do that. Everybody else, I can actually show you how to do this. So I need to put in this table into my calculator, which means I need to be able to see it while I'm typing stuff out. Sorry. So the, excuse me, the table feature on your calculator is not called a table. In mathematics, it's called a matrix. You may have not experienced much of it. Upper level mathematics uses it a lot, not so much in the lower levels. So let me show you where to find that. There we go. So I need the matrix, not the movie, but this button here. It's in blue, so I have to push second and then my matrix button. I need my calculator to be on first. So second, matrix. These are all just the names of my matrices. There are lots of things that you can do, and if you go into being a math major, you will use a lot of these. I'm going to edit my matrices. So I'm going to hit enter. And I need to tell my calculator what size. Now this is what I was saying earlier. If you end up flipping your rows and columns, just switch them up if it doesn't match what you're trying to do. So for example, here we said we had 3 and 2. So let's say I got them mixed up and I put 2 by 3. That is not the shape that I need. So I'm just going to scroll back up and replace it with a 3 by 2, and I'm hitting enter each time. So I'm just going to type in everything except the totals. I can hit enter each time and it's going to move me across my rows. Slowly sliding off my lap. I probably should try to use a table. So what was I? 497, 77. So it's in my calculator now. I'm going to second quit. Now I need to get into my tests. Stat, tests. I'm going to scroll up. We don't need a chi-squared goodness of fit test. We just need a chi-squared test. All it wants to know is, where are your observed frequencies? We put them in matrix A. Now I could go ahead and type in my expected ones, but I told you I was going to show you how to make your calculator do that itself. This is how you make your calculator come up with the expected calculations itself. So I'm just going to say, throw them in matrix B. I'm telling you I put the observed in matrix A. I'm going to calculate things. I'm seeing the exact same, or approximately the same, chi-square test statistic. I'm seeing the p-value that we calculated with chi-squared CDF, and it's telling me my degree of freedom. So this is doing all that stuff for us. If I go back into my matrices, so second matrix, this wasn't here before, but it is now because it went ahead and populated that with the expected frequencies. So I'm actually going to scroll over to edit and then scroll down to matrix B. And now I can see these are all the ones that I made you calculate a couple by hand, and then I just made you trust that I did the rest myself. I didn't. I used the calculator. So the other option to view that matrix, if you go into your matrices, if you forget to go over to edit, you could just scroll down to the name of matrix B, hit enter, and it will put matrix B into your screen. Just don't hit enter because it'll think you're done with that calculation, or I don't know, whatever. But you can see it that way too. So by doing that, we get this value, we get this one, we get this one, and we can go ahead and jump to our comparison of why that means we can reject our null hypothesis. That's really all that's in this lesson. It's kind of a nice straightforward one for what we're going to be doing. I would do more if we were in class. I would do more if this was going to show up on the AP test. Since neither of those things are true, I'm sitting in the sun, which is apparently baking my iPad.